is good, everybody? It is a new night for me. It is Friday night. I am tired, but we are here because SmackDown just happened. Tonight was just an excellent build to Royal Rumble coming this Sunday. We got a war of words between these two fierce competitors and rivals leading up to their last man standing match. We got two of the best wrestlers in the world going at it once again, and the return of a certain monster just in time for the Rumble. It's coming up this Sunday. Let's kick off Royal Rumble weekend right. It is your Smackdown Recap and Review. Coming up first in the night, we got Bryan opening the show. He's been this Sunday's best. We love to see it. But he's pretty much just talking about the importance of the Royal Rumble in his career and needing to win that Royal Rumble. Talking about how he was in the main event at WrestleMania, one of the best moments of all time back at WrestleMania 30. And he's like, I want to get back there again. I want to feel that again. Starts listing off why the Royal Rumble is so dope to him and so many others around the world. And that's when AJ Styles, of all people, interrupts him because of the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational. We're not even a quarter way through the year. What does that mean? What does it mean? They're really trying to make sense of people coming to different brands. Like, oh my gosh, it makes no sense. But either way, outside of that, he's coming here just talking about, hey, I'm getting tired of people following my blueprint for declaring for the Royal Rumble. Like, I did it, and then everybody else wanted to do it, even though Bryan was the first one to do it. But we're gonna dismiss that. We're gonna excuse that. But at the end of the day, Bryan, he challenges AJ to a match since he's here on SmackDown. He ready to go, and AJ's like, I ain't scared of nobody. I need a little warm up. He pushes Bryan down, and Bryan, he starts to get a little itchy. He gets up and almost is right in his face, so he really can't do nothing about it. Cause that's a tall brother. He's a big boy. And he's like, hey AJ, if you want to be a real man, you better come out here and fight me without this homeboy, okay? Yeah, because either way, even if you come out or not, I'm gonna beat your butt. And I was like, all right, we gonna get Daniel and AJ again. Ooh, yay. Pretty nice opening segment, pretty much building anticipation and excitement for the Royal Rumble. Love what both men kind of did here, and seeing them fight is always a good time. So I can't wait for that later on in the night. First match of the night coming up after this, we do got the EST and the former HUG of WWE going one-on-one. That's right, we got Bianca Belair versus Bayley. We see Bayley get a little short interview before the match saying, hey, I'm the only problem that Bianca can't run away from, referring to her WWE Chronicle that debuted this past week, which is really good. Please go watch that, by the way. Really eye-opening for real. But yeah, just to start off, Bianca's real confident. She's just showing off her athleticism, but Bayley is targeting that arm that she injured last week when she threw her into the basketball post at the Ultimate Athlete Obstacle Course Challenge. I think I got it right. But yeah, she's just going after that arm, going after it. But Belair is coming back. She is whooping her back, like shots to the back, everything like that. She looked like she was actually fighting instead of wrestling. Like she was going at it. And she just has the advantage going into our commercial break. Back from break, and Bayley is still going after that arm of Belair, just wrenching at it, kicking at it. She eventually does hit a couple of big impact moves. She hits a sliding knee for a 2 count, as well as a beautiful elbow drop from the top rope to a awkwardly standing and crouched over Belair for a 2 count as well. She eventually does go for the Rose Plant, but Belair kind of reverses it. She gets her in position for a Glam Slam, but her arm's giving out. She can't hold her up like that, So eventually, as Bayley's trying to take back the advantage, she throws her into the turnbuckle, and Belair does a one hand now, handspring. It just lands in the corner. Bayley charges after her. She lifts her up, plants her face into the turnbuckle, gets her in that Argentine backbreaker. KOD, the kiss of death. 1, 2, 3. It is a win for Bianca Belair, as she described the biggest win of her career so far. She's interviewed on the stage, and she's out of breath, really. I don't know why they made her talk after the match for some reason, but she's out of breath talking about, hey, it's the biggest win, and my week doesn't stop here. We go into the Royal Rumble, we gonna cash out, baby, we gonna win that. Yeah, this is solid action between the two. Definitely showed off both of their athletic ability, especially for Belair just coming out on top. She didn't really sell her arm injury a lot during the match or after the match, which is something I kind of had a problem with. It kind of took away from the idea of getting sympathetic about her injury, because she wasn't really selling a lot. She was just fighting through the pain, you know. But outside of that, definitely just solid action between the two. Definitely the right person came out on top, because I'm hoping that she wins on Sunday and just gets that fire push that she's been looking for since she's been to SmackDown. But good action all around here from those two. Next up, we do have a match between King Corbin and Dominik Mysterio, because we didn't see this last week, right? But we do see Corbin coming out at the beginning of the match, and Dominik attacks like he's on the prowl, and he's just beating him up going into our commercial break. When we come back from break, the match has started. Dominik is in control, just using his speed and his leaping ability to take advantage. Corbin eventually takes back the advantage, just a couple back suplexes, and he's staring at Ray as he does it. He's like, hey, you better come get your boy, because he's struggling right now. Like, he needs your help. He can't hear you over there on commentary, can he? Dominik does eventually get him in position for a 619. He goes for it. He is caught. Corbin pretty much tries to maneuver that and reverse that into a powerbomb attempt in the corner, but the buckle bomb's banned, remember guys? And that is eventually reversed into a hurricanrana, plants Corbin's head into the turnbuckle for a 2 count. But we do see the end of this match come. Corbin is standing on the apron. Dominik goes for a springboard drop kick. He is caught, just like dropped down on the ropes, bounces right off, ends up back in the ring. Corbin hits the end of days, a 1-2-3, and another win for King Corbin over Rey Mysterio. Second week in a row. Come on now. We see Rey Mysterio, and Corbin just kind of have eyes at the end of the match, and Corbin tries to attack, but Rey takes him out and takes advantage and goes to console his son, of course, after his devastating loss. This was pretty much nothing. I didn't really feel too much about it. Corbin is what it is. I'm expecting more from Dominik Mysterio as he continues to mature and gets more matches, but he didn't really look a lot of good here. Like, I'm hoping it gets better. Him and Rey need to go after the tag team titles or something, just to build up that chemistry a little bit more, and just have his dad right beside him to help him out. But yeah, this wasn't as impactful or good that it needed to be. So this is just pretty much nothing. Next up, we do have what I like to call and refer to as keep it moving moments. These are various segments backstage and video packages just placed on WWE main roster shows just to move the show along pretty much. And they are very irritating, so I'm just gonna run through all of them right now. We do have the first one with Big E. He's pretty much trying to bribe Sonya Deville to give him his Rumble number for this Sunday. Miz and Morrison do show up pretty much because they can, because of the quarterly brand-to-brand invitational. And also they mentioned seeing the opportunity to be able to cash in on Roman Reigns as well. But they're pretty much just talking about the Rumble. This ends in a brawl between all three men, and they have referees and officials come to break it up and stuff like that. We do get a video package for Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, just kind of detailing their feud pretty much up to their War Awards and their Last Man Standing match coming this Sunday. We do see a short little segment with Sasha Banks, SmackDown's Women's Champion, and Reginald the Sommelier. He brings her the wine that Carmella picked out, and he's like, hey, she said this would go good with you losing your title. And I was like, ha, Reginald tried to be slick. He thought he was funny, ha ha ha. But Sasha Banks pretty much turns it around on him. He's pretty much fake flirting with him. And she's like, hey, like, I wonder which wine would go good with me breaking her jaw and crushing her dreams. And I was like, sis, no you didn't. I'm actually looking forward to their match on Sunday. I think it'll actually be really good. Their TLC one was really good, so I have high hopes for what's coming at the Royal Rumble for those two. But yeah, nice little short little funny segment. And then the last one we got Shinsuke Nakamura and Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn is pretty much just trying to woo Nakamura back to him, pretty much telling him like, hey, I need help, I need a favor, because you owe that to me. Like, everything that is good that has happened in your career has come because of me. You know, the takeover match in Dallas, you know, your Intercontinental title reign, like all that because of me, you know? Come on now, I'm your homie, I'm your friend. And Shinsuke's like, you know what? I appreciate you, I appreciate what you said, but you can go where the sun don't shine. And I was like, ah, ha, 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 Shinsuke, you funny as well. I'm loving babyface Shinsuke, I've always have. So yeah, these are just a few backstage segments and video package that ran out, and this was our keep it moving moments. Next up, we do have the War of Words from KO and Roman Reigns just going ahead for that Last Man Standing match this Sunday. KO pretty much opened, he's talking about like, hey, as far as I'm concerned, I beat Roman Reigns twice. He had the help of his little family a couple times, and so I firmly feel like I beat him a couple times, and come this Sunday, I will beat him again as well, because no matter how much of his family he throws at me, I'm going to come out the last man standing. And Paul, he's like, what are you doing? You're talking down to the tribal chief. You better not do that. You better not talk down on my boy like that. And Roman's just standing there confused. He's like, what is he talking about? As Roman starts to speak, he kind of starts asking about the man's father, and KO's like, hey bro, don't go there. He's trying to be cordial. He's like, hey, don't go there. He's asking like, was your father a smart man? Was he a good man? What kind of man was he? Because apparently he didn't teach you your own limitations. And I was like, oh my gosh, they're gonna go there. And Roman is just like, okay, so your parents didn't teach you your limitations, so that means that they're fools. And if your father's a fool, then your grandfather's a fool. And that hit Kevin. He was like, boy, don't do it. Don't talk about them. You know how important they are to me. You see the initials written on my knuckles, on my fingers. Like, these men are my everything. Like, don't do that. And Roman Reigns is not letting up. He's like, hey, when you eventually see them again, they're going to tell you what a disgrace you were and how you should have bowed down and acknowledged your tribal chief. And at this, Kevin just gets heated. He's like, boy, you better not talk about it. You don't do that. You know how much my family means to me. And he's just getting riled up and anxious. And Roman's just like, you know what? I'm going to turn it off real quick. I don't need none of this. And Kevin is just going off. This was beautifully crafted. This was an amazing war of words. I think the thing that made it so good is just the clash of styles with their speaking styles. Like, Kevin is one of the most complete talkers in WWE, I would like to say, while Roman is one of the most confident talkers in the E. So their clash of styles just made this perfect. I really wondered what they were going to talk about in this war of words, but they definitely brought out something that I did not expect them to, and it just made me more interested, more compelled for this match coming up on Sunday. This was beautifully done. Both of them are at their peak right now, and I cannot wait to see this match on Sunday. This is definitely going to be a show stealer. Everything here was phenomenal. And next up, we do have the match between AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan. AJ Styles, he really left almost in the back like he said he was. Awesome. We do see Cesaro on commentary for some reason. I don't know why. But AJ and Bryan just with the beautiful grappling to start. Bryan's just trying to work on that arm of AJ Styles and just going after it. Later on, we do see Sami Zayn come out just to kind of interfere, and we see AJ kind of take control outside the ring going into our commercial break. Coming back from break, we do see Sami Zayn still protesting. He has his signs, one that says, stand against moral injustice, spelling out Sammy. I'm an acrostic poem fiend, so that was beautifully done. That was lovely. Got a chuckle out of me. Definitely congratulations. Good job, Sammy. But we do get back to the match in the ring. Daniel Bryan is just getting back in control with his usual comeback. We do see AJ end up on the outside of the ring. He's going for the phenomenal forearm. That is reverse. Bryan grabs that arm, turns it into a short arm scissor at first, and then eventually transitions it into the yes lock. AJ does eventually get into the ropes to go ahead and break the hold. During this whole sequence, Big E's music hit, and he makes his way out to the ring as Sami Zayn was kind of saying how Big E wasn't his Intercontinental Champion either. Big E takes him out, and Cesaro's like, what are you doing, man? You threw him all the way over here. You interrupted. You threw him into my chair. And then they start fighting off the side of the ring. Back in the ring, because we still have a match going on, Bryan and AJ are going at it in the corner, and AJ just trying to go outside the ring, and Bryan takes all of them out with a suicide dive. Back in the ring, Sammy attacks, causes the disqualification, and all the infighting between all the four. We see Nakamura eventually come out as well, so all three are just fighting. We see a nice little moment. Nakamura and Cesaro about to hit each other, but they realize, oh wait, that's my partner, that's my tag partner. But that doesn't matter. Eventually, this breaks down 3-on-3. You know how this goes. It's a six-man tag play. It's a six-man tag coming up after the commercial break. Coming back from break, the match kicks off. We got on one side Daniel Bryan, Big E, and Nakamura against Cesaro, AJ Styles, and Sami Zayn. Nakamura and Cesaro start. They're tag team partners. They're two of the best wrestlers in the world, so the chemistry there was automatic, and it was lovely. We eventually see Sami Zayn tag in, and everybody on the babyface side just gets their chance to pretty much put down Zayn and control Zayn for most of it. That's until Daniel Bryan, he just gets hit with a chop block by Sami Zayn, and from then on, everybody and their mama was going after that leg of Daniel Bryan. Commentary harped on it a lot, just like this is very bad for Daniel Bryan's chances on Sunday, and they were right because ain't nobody, no, everybody was going after that leg. Let me tell you. He eventually does get a drop kick to kind of get control back. He tags in Big E. Big E comes in running like a man possessed, just using his strength and all that. Him and Cesaro had a very good little sequence that they were doing with just power moves and stuff like that. Two of the most athletic and powerful men in the WWE. What else can you expect? He just hits a rock bottom out of the corner, and as he's getting ready to do some more big moves, Miz and Morrison come out and they distract him as well, and they cause another no disqualification or no contest finish, whatever it was, and everybody's just beating up everybody again. Otis eventually comes out and he hits the worm or the caterpillar, whatever you want to call it, and we go into commercial break again because we're gonna get another match coming up after this. Back from commercial break, we do have a 9-man tag team match, which I don't understand why Chad Gable wasn't out there with Otis. Like, make it make sense, really. But 9-man tag match, 4 on one side, 5 on the other. Daniel Bryan and Miz to start for some reason, even though Daniel Bryan's leg is compromised, and as on cue, Miz is going for that leg, he's just killing it inside the ring, outside the ring, just hampering on it. Bryan does eventually get a chance to go for the tag, but everybody is taken out by the heel side, and just he has nobody to tag, and Sami Zayn still working on that leg, they're just killing them, and that's until the 10th member, Sheamus, of course, because of the quarterly Brand Invitational. Make it make sense. He comes out and he's apparently on the team now, and he's just coming, he's firing, hits Morrison with the 10 beats of the Ballard, and eventually a lot of other stuff happens. I'm not even going to get much into it because this match has been going on for too long. Hits a bro kick on Sami Zayn after everybody hits a big move in the ring. 1, 2, 3. Match is over for the babyface team. He doesn't really get a chance to celebrate because Miz and Morrison are on the prowl, and AJ's just kind of directing traffic and watching and all that. And all of a sudden, Braun Strowman, he makes his return to WWE, to SmackDown. He comes out cleaning out everybody. He takes out Zayn and Cesaro in the ring with power slams, and he just stands tall to end the show. I'm not saying that I love Braun Strowman, but absence does make the heart grow fonder here. Like, they definitely needed a big star to come back in some capacity to WWE, I felt like, because shows are kind of dragging. He is definitely a welcome addition. Like, I love seeing him back and just taking over. He's probably playing more of a face now, which I like to see, which is more his style as well. It's just the babyface monster, pretty much. But yeah, this long, drawn-out 2-man, 6-man, 9-man, 10-man tag at the end of the night, it was just really long and really unnecessary. Definitely used to fill time and just kind of include everybody, which is usually what they do for Royal Rumble season when it comes around. Just a lot of tag man matches and just like showing people throwing over the top rope. Even though that didn't happen a lot here, it was definitely just centered around just filling up time on the show and the Braun Strowman return as well. But definitely not a lot to really go home about here. Definitely not the way I expected them to close the show, just going into Royal Rumble. They could definitely close it with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens, but it was what it was. Definitely excited for the Strowman return, but everything else is just really lackluster. And that was the end of the show, and that is your end of SmackDown, just going into Royal Rumble. Last show before Royal Rumble. As for SmackDown, I would say it was a 2-segment show. The Belair and Bayley match was pretty good, even though her selling of the arm and the interview afterwards were kind of as well. But all around solid action in the ring. And then the war of words between Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns, definitely spectacular. Definitely looking forward to their match the most this Sunday, even though the result is pretty clear. But still looking forward to it, of course. But everything else was pretty lackluster, I would say, pretty standard. This is one of the weirdest builds to Royal Rumble that I've seen in a long time. There's not really anything clear that's going to happen at the Royal Rumble in those matches, but that excites me and frightens me at the same time because WWE is really throwing us into the unknown with this one, and I don't know how we're going to get through it. I don't know how my wrestling fandom will survive with what happens on Sunday, but I will be here, I will be back, I will be present, and I will continue to give you videos, as will the rest of the guys. Of course, you'll have your Royal Rumble recap and a bunch of videos coming out next week, but outside of that, that is it for me here for your SmackDown recap. First time doing this, you know, we're about to keep it moving, do this a lot more in the future, but that is going to be it for me. I'm out. Peace. Continue to love yourselves, continue to love each other. Please continue to just be there for one another, you know. I'll catch you on the flip. See you soon.